Hi everyone, welcome. Hope you're all doing really well. Thank you so much for joining us to our Code First Girls info session for our Mid Level Accelerator or MLA program. It's great to have you join us this evening, but while we wait for a couple more people to join, it would be really nice to hear where you are tuning in from and how you heard about Code First Girls. We often get lots of new community members for these kinds of info sessions, so please do share in the live chat. That would be really lovely to hear where you're tuning in from and how you heard about CFG, just while we wait for a few more people to join. Don't be shy. The live chat is definitely there for you to engage with and to put comments and questions in, so please do share. Hey everyone who's just joined us, we're just waiting for a few more minutes while we have some other people tune in, but as I just said, please do feel free to share where you are tuning in from and how you heard about Code First Girls. And I'll give it a couple more minutes and then we'll jump into the session. Hi, we've got a couple people tuning in from London. That's great to hear that you heard about us from at the Women of Silicon Valley event. That's amazing. And also great that you heard from us by doing a course. So you are a CFG alumni, which is great. Hi Omi. So tuning in from the UK, head of CFG via a family friend who did a course through us. Amazing. We love to hear that. CFG word is often spread through family and friends. So always great to hear always great to meet people virtually who've been directed to us via a family member or a friend or a colleague or a peer. And you're all very much welcome to the session today. So the plan for the session is to provide you with some actionable tips and insights to navigate your MLA application with us. We hope that you can leave this call knowing more about what the MLA is, our opportunities, the curriculum, and the outcomes, along with how to submit your application. And of course, to also take any questions that you may have for us as well. Hi to those who've just joined us. You've not missed much at all. And to let everyone know as well that the recording for today's session will be available on the YouTube channel via the same link that you are on right now. So you can access that after the end of the session if you do want to review, rewatch, or reflect on anything that has been shared on the session today. So just to start with some very quick introductions. We've got two of us joining from the CFG team today. I'm Kim, Associate Director of Operations here at CFG. I have over 6 years of experience in the education, technology, social impact, and startup space, with a focus on improving outcomes for underrepresented communities, which is exactly what we do here at CFG. What we do is provide free education, access, and incredible opportunities to women and non-binary individuals every day. I'm very happy to be joined by my wonderful colleague, Fran, who I'll pass over to do a quick intro as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Kim. Hi, everyone. Really lovely to see you on the call today. I'm Fran. I'm the head of programs at CFG. So me and my team oversee the management and the running of all of the programs, including some of the courses that some of you might have done if you've done a class with us before, or even the CFG degree. And we are really heavily involved with the development of the MLA program. And yeah, lovely to virtually meet you all.
Thanks, Fran. Fran will be popping back up onto the live stage a little bit later to chat through the MLA curriculum and support with Q&As as well. But if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, you can see we've got a live YouTube chat. So feel free to pop them in there as we're talking, and we'll try our best to answer any and all questions that you might have at the end of the session. So I just want to share a little bit more on what we do here at CFG. Some of you are familiar with CFG. Some of you are not so familiar, it sounds like, but you are all very much welcome to the session today. What we do here at CFG is provide education for diverse groups to go into their first or second role in technology. The education we provide is always free for candidates. Then we've put a lot of time and effort into understanding the barriers for women to enter technology and then be retained by organisations in developing our programmes. I'm very happy to say that we are established as one of the largest communities of coders in the world, which is amazing. And as I said, all of you are very much welcome to the session today to hear more about our MLA, that opportunity, and what you'd need to do to apply. So, who is our fantastic CFG community? Well, we are called Code First Girls. Our mission is so much more than gender diversity. We are incredibly proud to have offered over 200,000 free learning opportunities to women since starting in 2012. Of those, 57% are from underrepresented communities and 55% are first-generation university graduates. While we operate primarily in the UK, in the past we have offered numerous global opportunities, for example, from Capgemini in Spain to the US with Rolls-Royce. Our focus today is on our Mid Level Accelerator, or MLA. But what is our MLA? As a company, CFG is keen to stay as agile as possible, and everything we work towards is aimed in benefiting and supporting our community. So following significant research, roundtables, and listening exercises, we discovered that there was a huge demand from our ambassadors and community who felt a training program designed to fast track them from being at the junior level to getting to the mid-level was crucial in their career development. And that is exactly what we designed with our Mid-Level Accelerator. This program has been created by our expert content creators in industry to share the insights and skills that a lot of people tend to either have or don't. We're thinking of those soft skills or technical professional skills in communication, stakeholder management that aren't explicitly taught in a solely technical course, for example. But what is the mid-level talent gap? With every program that we offer, there is a key challenge we are addressing with our Mid-Level Accelerator. And I'll let the data on the slide speak for themselves. I would really love to get some audience engagement at this point and ask if anyone is surprised by these stats. Feel free to share it in the live chat. Please don't be shy. Do these stats surprise you? I would say that at CFG, we've definitely been surprised by the fact that 60% have left roles due to no clear pathway for progression. And that's really, really shocking for us. To reflect on these stats, for every 100 men, only 52 women in technical roles are being promoted to manager level. The key takeaway here is that women are being overlooked. I can see some of you are saying that you're not surprised by these stats. And to be honest, yeah, I think it's not surprising, but we were shocked at CFG when we dived into some of this research. You can see here that 81% have said that they would have stayed in their position at their company if they were given the opportunity to upskill. Our goal with the MLA is to support these women with their next steps by providing crucial technical and professional upskilling. So some of the data that we just showed might be resonating with you right now. If you're currently watching this after a day of work, thinking, I'm at this stage in my career, maybe your 6-month review is coming up and you're thinking about where you want to go with your career in tech. The MLA could be the opportunity that you've been looking for that additional support from a tech perspective, but also to help build confidence in professional skills. The aim of the MLA is to encourage innovative thinking and empower learners to adopt a future tech approach to thinking and working. We have focused modules on modern software development, the future of full stack, and diversity, equity, and inclusion, among many other technical modules. As already mentioned, a large focus is on learners developing their technical professional skills. So you build your confidence in becoming part of the next generation of future tech leaders. You will build on your tech leadership and product development skills by focusing on product discovery, monitoring and analytics, and stakeholder engagement, management, and communication. At CFG, we feel incredibly passionate about a T-shaped skill set, which is nurtured as part of the MLA. You'll grow in confidence on agility and automation, building inclusive products, and effective communication and presentation skills. The definition of a T-shaped skill set is that there is a combination of deep expertise in a specific area, that's the vertical line of the T, alongside a broader understanding and ability to collaborate across different disciplines, which is the horizontal line of the T. Essentially, we are looking to build someone with both specialized knowledge and general knowledge across multiple fields. This would make you adaptable and collaborative in diverse situations and be able to communicate with technical and non-technical teams, which we think is really important for that progression from junior to mid-level. I'll now pass back over to Fran to talk a little bit more about the curriculum that's covered in the Mid Level Accelerator.
Thanks, Kim. Mid Level Accelerator is built around the idea of sprints. It's supposed to replicate what you'll be doing in your day-to-day job in tech and give that experience that's really, really applicable to your progression into a mid-level role. What we've designed is a group project, which will be taking a minimum viable product and then developing it, improving it, adding to it, and getting it to a product that you would be happy to go to market with. So what we've done is organise this course into 3 sprints, and I'll run through sprint 1. We start with an introduction, so an introduction to the course, an introduction to your instructors, a good opportunity to kind of settle in and understand the course a little bit better, and then touch on ways of working. We'll then have a look at project initiation, which will include an overview of the software development lifecycle, touching on how to work agilely and using cloud and DevOps. We'll look at user stories, behavior-driven development, and acceptance tests, and then touch on full stack architecture, looking at microservices towards the end of week 2. Weeks 3 to 4 are still within sprint 1. And again, we'll be having a look at architecture, an overview of different design approaches, so whether that's behavior-driven development or test-driven development, and then CI and code quality. And then in weeks 5 to 6, we'll be having a look at deployment strategies, and then developing some technical professional skills. So moving away from the very hardcore tech stuff, but looking at things like communication, presentation, and the importance of teamwork. What we then do is finish sprint 1 with a demo. So all the groups will have a session to present what they've been working on over the past 6 weeks, and they'll get some really valuable feedback from instructors and the other students, which will then feed into the next session, which is an opportunity to have a retro. So you will be able to incorporate all of your feedback and really reflect on all the work that you've done so far on that group project. Week 7 will be a break week, so you will have an opportunity to go away for a week, rest and relax, and not do any work during that week. We don't set homework and we don't expect anyone to attend sessions or do anything additional. And when you come back from the break week for week 8, we'll be looking at debugging and error handling, and then further test-driven development application. And then into the second half of the course, we will have a look at improving security with DevSecOps, which has been a really, really popular topic and is really incredibly interesting. Looking at monitoring and analytics, and then some other techniques, so applying CI/CD pipelines to projects. This will all feed into the next round of the work on your group project. And again, we'll end this sprint with a demo session and then an opportunity to have a retro. So you're getting constant feedback throughout the course on the group project that you're working on and how you're applying your skills that you're learning in every single lesson. And then into week 12, we have a look at the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in products and product development, which is something we're really passionate about at CFG. Going into the last few weeks, we touch on the future of full stack, which includes looking at WebAssembly. And then we go on to lightning talks, which is an assessed part of the course, but is an amazing opportunity for students to bring something that they're really interested in or that they've been working on in the world of tech to a lightning talk, which is where we'll ask you to do a 5-minute presentation. And it's a brilliant way to improve communication skills, presentation skills, and a brilliant chance to talk about something that you're really passionate about in the world of tech for those few minutes. And then the final couple of weeks, we have our final sprint demo and retro, which is the last chance to get a bit of feedback on your group projects and make those very final changes before you submit. And then the final couple of sessions are looking at career proofing, so applying some skills and some knowledge to really progress in your careers and to also help others, maybe more junior than you, progress in theirs. And then a really nice chance to reflect on the course and everything that you've learned over the 16 weeks, which we cannot overestimate. You will learn so much within such a short space of time and have so many new skills that you can apply to your world of work. And yeah, I think that's it for the curriculum. Thank you, Kim.
Thanks, Fran. If anyone does have any questions about the curriculum, feel free to pop them in the chat and we'll be able to take them towards the end of the session. Thanks, Fran. So I'll dive into a little bit more detail now around what is actually involved in the MLA application and the whole application process. So what are the steps for applying to the MLA? Before you submit your application, it's really important that you think about the options you have available, as you can only apply to one opportunity. So whether that's education only or a sponsored role. Applying for more than one may result in neither application being considered. So I really recommend you going through the MLA page on our website and reading through the opportunities before you decide which one you may want to apply for. There's a lot of information on our website, really, really useful information on each opportunity. So I would say definitely have a look and read through all of that before making any kind of decision or submitting your application. So once you've selected your opportunity, you can begin to complete your written application. We would recommend that you set aside around 30 minutes to complete this. And then once completed, if you meet the eligibility criteria, you'll be invited to complete a technical assessment. With regards to the technical assessment, you'll be able to choose from either Python, Data, or Java. Once you complete the tech assessment, you'll then be invited to complete a short self-led video interview. And we want to know more about yourself in this video interview, including your motivations for applying, and ideally see your personality shine through at this point. It's a really nice opportunity to share a bit more about yourself, your experience, your motivations, and to share that with us at CFG. Once you have submitted the video interview, the application is complete. It comes to us at CFG, and we can then go through and review the full application. When we are shortlisting candidates, we look at everything. So your written application, your video interview, and your tech assessment score. If you are successful and you've been shortlisted, then we will reach out to you to provide you with confidence coaching or interview coaching to prepare you ahead of your interview with the sponsor company. The last stage of the whole process is an interview with the company sponsoring your potential place and your linked job role. Hopefully, all of that goes well and you'll be successful. At this point, we would confirm your place on the MLA and we would send you all of the information you need well ahead of time. On this slide, we wanted to show you a brief timeline for the upcoming spring 2025 MLA cohort. Applications are already open. They've been open since the 3rd of December. So we would encourage you, if you do want to apply, to start having a look at the website, the application process, and making decisions around which opportunity you may want to apply for. I would say that the key dates to have in mind here are the 17th of January, when applications close, and the 3rd of February, which is when you would hear the outcome, and if you are successful in progressing to the next part of the application process. As I mentioned, I really want to stress and encourage you to submit your application as soon as possible. You do still have quite a few weeks until the deadline, but please remember that the full application is the written part, the tech assessment, and the video interview. You do not need to do everything all at once. You can absolutely give yourself a bit of time to complete each step. You could do the written section this evening, for example, and then you could do your tech assessment and your video interview this weekend. But please just make sure that everything is submitted by the deadline. If you are successful, you will then be invited to interview coaching and your company interview. You will hear back about your offer around the 10th of March, and the MLA will start shortly after that in April. In terms of the opportunities that we have at the moment for the MLA, I wanted to dive into these in a bit more detail on the call today, as we have some really exciting opportunities open for application at the moment. You can see here, we have a role with Ordnance Survey, which is the National Mapping Agency for Great Britain. The role is for a data engineer in Southampton, but it is open to all UK if you're willing to relocate. For Ordnance Survey, you would need to complete the data tech assessment. Ordnance Survey are a brilliant organisation to work for. They are fantastic for career progression and have some brilliant benefits, such as being family friendly and offering remote working as well. You'll see here that we also have a role with Thales, who are in the defence industry. The role is for an underwater systems software engineer in Cheadle, Crawley or Temple Combe. For Thales, you would need to complete the Java tech assessment. Again, Thales is another fantastic supportive company with lots of benefits, including annual bonuses and early finish Fridays, among other benefits as well. Excitingly, there could also be an opportunity with Deutsche Bank, with more details shared on our website in due course. If you are interested, please do have a look at the company's website, as well as the CFG website for more information. If you are interested, but perhaps feel you don't meet all criteria, please don't panic or let that hold you back in any way. We really encourage you to apply to the company of your choice, as ultimately we are looking for motivated individuals who can make a great fit for the company as well, even if you don't meet every single one of those criteria points. So, what are we looking for in MLA applicants? We've prepared you for a 10-star application checklist for you to keep in mind when applying. Number 1 is eligibility criteria. This is essential, and when we say eligibility criteria, we don't mean that you need to meet all of the criteria on the job description, but you must meet the eligibility criteria for us to consider you for the MLA application. To remind you what this criteria is, it's having about 1.5 years of work experience in a technical role and being over the age of 18. Bear in mind, there may be some eligibility criteria for the company to which you are applying, so please make sure you have a look at the job role on our website before submitting your application. Secondly, a university degree. This isn't always necessary, neither is a degree in STEM, but all we want to know is that you've got existing experience and you want to continue developing. Third, being 18, as I mentioned, is the only age requirement that we have. There are no age barriers at all for applying, and we welcome all applicants, or applicants of all ages, to apply so long as you're above the age of 18. Again, I wanted to stress the criteria of having 1.5 years of experience in technical role. This is a must. As I mentioned earlier, this program is for those looking to move from a junior tech role to a mid-level tech role. So you do need to have that junior tech experience, which roughly translate to about 1.5 years. But obviously it does differ person to person, but that's why we give a rough idea of about 1.5 years of experience in technical role. In addition to that, if you are a career switcher, you may be bringing an array of different skills and work experience from different industries, which is great. If you are a career switcher considering this, please don't consider that a negative at all. We love career switchers at CFG. Our partners love career switchers. And we know that you bring so much varied experience and knowledge from different industries. So please do not let that hold you back in any way. If anything, that could be a real benefit for your application. So please do include all of that experience in your application and let us know about transferable skills that you may have as well. Enthusiasm. Please show your enthusiasm and your determination to get stuck in to the program when you are completing your application. In addition to enthusiasm, teamwork is also super important to us as well. We want to see that you enjoy working in a team and supporting others. There are elements of group work, project work as part of the program, and the role that you may be moving into after will also likely have elements of group work and teamwork as well. Lots of our clients are looking for people who are able to work in a team. So it's really important that you do enjoy doing that, because that will be crucial in your progression on the course, and also the role. Attitude. So we think this goes hand in hand with proactivity, which comes a little bit later on our STAR checklist. But we want to see someone with a can-do attitude, someone that is willing to get stuck in and be proactive. This is really, really important. I can't stress this enough, because a lot of our clients are looking for someone that can get involved in a task and carry it through all the way to the end. Curiosity. This is really important. We want someone that is keen to learn, keen to engage, keen to learn new skills, and someone that wants to progress in their career in the tech industry. Proactivity, I mentioned that one already. But lastly, being honest and open. We want to see the real you in your application, the authentic you. We want to be able to appreciate your personality, your skill set, your motivations, and your experiences, and understand why you're applying to the MLA. And doing this via the video interview is really, really important. So please don't shy away from showing us your personality. We want to see that come through. And it will mean that we can best support you as you go through the process of applying to a role with our partner companies and sponsors. We think it's really important to highlight all of these key points on our 10-star application checklist. And we appreciate that these are probably some things that you're already thinking about or might consider when applying for the MLA. So you might think that they're a little bit obvious, but we just want to make sure that you're considering all of these points when you are considering the MLA and completing your application as well. So taking time to review your application and the opportunity properly is really, really important. But once you've done that, please do submit ahead of the deadline. That will put you in a really good position. I know that we have the festive season coming up. It might be that you have some time off work, you've got a bit of spare time to focus on the application, and I would really encourage you to do that as soon as possible. Applications are reviewed live as and when they are submitted, so we encourage you to submit them as soon as possible and don't delay. That was everything that we wanted to cover in the main part of the session today. Now moving on to the Q&A section. I'll have a look at the live chat to see if we've had any questions come through that haven't yet been answered. Doesn't look like we have had any questions come through. And I can see Fran has responded to one that came through, which is great. But if you have any questions, feel free to pop them on the chat now and we can try and answer them live for you. Appreciate I've shared quite a lot of information, so there's a fair amount for you to reflect on and digest, which is absolutely fine. We have had one question about the technical assessment. Will the data technical tests be SQL? So I believe yes, they will be. Fran, I don't know if you've got more on that one, but it might be Shamim, but that we'll have to come back on that one. But yes, I believe there will be elements of SQL in there, but we might be able to do a live check for you on the call.
Yeah, I'm just having a little look now, but I think it did include SQL. Yeah. Yes, yeah, it is largely based on SQL.
Thanks, Fran. Amanda, so what's the success rate to do this course? Amanda, do you mean success rate in applying and being successful in application, or finishing the course? Feel free to pop it in the chat as a follow-up and we can try and answer that one for you. Bella has asked, oh, sorry, apologies. What course would you recommend for a recent graduate with work experience outside of tech who are seeking their first job in the tech industry? Oh, great question. So I would not necessarily recommend the MLA for you, Bella. However, I would absolutely recommend our CFG degree, which is one of our other product offerings. It's similar to a technical bootcamp, if you're familiar with those, but are open to graduates with other work experience outside of technology, but who are looking to get their first job in the tech industry. You'll find all information about our CFG degree on our website. So please do have a look there, codefirstgirls.com. I would say the MLA is perhaps slightly too advanced, but you never know, maybe in a year or two, if you do get your first role in tech, then the MLA could definitely be an opportunity for you further down the line. But the CFG degree would be the one to go for, I would say. Definitely look into some of our classes as well, which will give you a good taste and flavour of specific tech languages to put you in a better position to then apply for our CFG degree, because there is a tech assessment linked to the application process. But Bella, have a look on the website, all info is there, and you can also drop us an email if you did want to find out any more about the CFG degree. Okay, apologies, I know I've missed a couple of questions. Amanda, so acceptance rate. That is a good question. To be honest, we may need to look into that one, because we'd need to have a look to see our applicant data and how many of that applicant pool are then accepted onto the course. Fran, you might be able to do a bit of live looking into that for us. If you can't, do not worry. And Amanda, you can follow up with us via email to emily@codefirstgirls.com, and we can have a look at that in a bit more detail. It's just we'll need to have a look at our data to get an answer for you on that one. Okay, I'll see some other questions. So EMATQ, similarly, what are the requirements of the Java technical assessment? So that one will be on Java, not JavaScript, in case of any confusion. We can, when you say requirements, it will essentially be responding to some technical questions in Java. So coding questions, programming questions in the Java programming language. Hopefully that answers your question, but if not, feel free to follow up if you were asking about any other specific requirements, but ultimately it would be coding ability in the Java language. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer your question. Having a look through other questions. Thank you so much for all the useful info. You are most welcome, Gaia. On the OS survey role, yes. So I would say do not dwell too much on the 3 years of experience. As I mentioned, it's really that junior to mid-level. It varies company to company. We say it's about 1.5 years. I would say don't let that be a factor for you not to apply. When we partner with our companies, we make sure that they are aware of kind of the criteria that we set, and that we say it's roughly about 1.5 years of technical experience for that role. So please don't dwell on the 3 years too much, I would say, if you are interested in the OS role. Fran, I don't know if you'd add to that one at all, but I know, yeah, I would say it's still the 1.5 years of experience, and not to dwell too much on that.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's definitely worth going for, even if you are coming under that 3-year timescale, because depending on where you've worked and what you've achieved, you might have ticked all the boxes that they're looking for anyway. So I don't think there's no harm in going for it.
Absolutely. So will there be an opportunity to discuss work schedule, part-time work from home before committing to the sponsored course? So the program itself is completely remote. So you can do that from home, you can do that remotely. And it is technically a part-time course. Fran, I don't know if you want to share a bit more around the schedule, because that might answer one of these questions.
Yes, definitely. So the MLA itself is an evening course, it's part-time, it's designed to be completed alongside a full-time job or any other commitments that you do have. There are 2 live sessions a week, which are on Tuesday and Thursday evenings, which run from 6 to 8. So it's very much in mind that you can do this alongside full-time work. There's some outside of live session work that does need to be done. So there's a little bit of independent study that you will need to do before you attend a live session. There will be some group project meetings as you're working on your group project. And there's a few smaller pieces of assessment that we have throughout the course. But the total hours per week, we usually see between sort of 8 and 12 hours. If this is a question regarding the actual role, I would imagine that they could discuss that at the company interview, because there will be a company interview. If you're going for a sponsored opportunity on the MLA, you will be able to interview with that company beforehand. So if you did need to discuss a part-time opportunity or the ability to work from home or work remotely, that would be a good opportunity to discuss it then.
Thanks, Fran. How big will teams be on the course? Oh, I wonder if that's relating to project teams. And Fran, if you want to give a bit of insight onto that one.
Yes, so the project groups are standard size is 4 or 5 students. So they're not very big, because it's often not easy to navigate and to manage too big a team. But we found that the sweet spot is around 4 or 5 students. And it's a really lovely way to get to know some of your fellow students a little bit better, spend a bit more time with them, and also do a lot of skill sharing as well. So you'll learn a lot from the other students on your course, and especially those that are in the same project group as you.
Thanks, Fran. So Patricia has asked, if none of these languages are your main language, will this be accounted for in your tech assessment result? So on this one, so Python, data, or Java aren't your main languages, it would be tricky, I imagine, for you to pass the tech assessment. So I would say maybe consider that one. Just the reason why is that on the MLA itself, we have technical sessions and those focus on those core languages. So it would be tricky, I would say, if you don't have experience in Python, data, SQL, or Java, it would be tricky for you to complete those sessions and ultimately complete that tech assessment as well. Fran, I don't know if you want to add anything to that one.
Yes, I think the reason that we have tech assessments is because this is a mid-level course and we need to assume a certain amount of knowledge before students start the course. So compared with our CFG degree, where it's very much tailored for people entering the tech world and they don't really need experience in programming before they do the CFG degree, it's not quite the same for the MLA. It is pitched a little bit higher and it does assume some knowledge of programming, of tech, of key concepts. So that's why we have these tech assessments in a few different languages. So it'd be interesting to hear, Patricia, if you have a different language, if maybe that's something like C#, which we're definitely looking into in the future. It might be that the MLA at the moment isn't particularly tailored for that, but that is something that we're definitely looking at developing. Or if it's perhaps a different course might be more suitable at this point to kind of get your feet in the door with one of the programming languages and with the technology concepts that we'll be kind of assuming knowledge of before teaching on the MLA.
Thanks, Patricia. Thanks, Fran. So EMAC, if you choose the education-only MLA, will there be support-defined roles with CFG's hiring partners? Yes, absolutely. We have a really supportive process for those who are education-only doing the MLA. As when opportunities come up, we will share them with those individuals who don't have a role at the end of the programme to be able to support you. So the answer is yes, absolutely. Kay has asked, if you have 4 to 5 years experience in a role you left 2.5 years ago, but have had to take some time out of work to recover from that job's burnout trauma, is the MA still suitable? Or would your skills be considered too stale? No, absolutely not, Kay. In answering your question around would your skills be considered stale? Absolutely not. I'll put the first part of the question back up, but no, wouldn't let that be a deterrent in terms of applying whatsoever. If anything, sounds like this individual could have a real wealth of experience, having had that experience of 4 to 5 years in a technical role, I imagine you're talking about here. So no, your skills would not be considered stale. As I mentioned earlier, if you've got the drive, the ambition, the interest to get back into a tech role, then the MLA could be for you, given the situation that you've shared here.
Just wanted to add to that, Kim, on our pilot MLA run, we did have a couple of students who had done exactly this. So they'd taken a couple of years out. I believe we had one student who'd actually sort of left for a couple of years on maternity leave and to start a family. And then coming back into tech via doing the MLA was a really positive experience for them. And we got some great feedback about how it had given them confidence and it refreshed them, and they were going into new jobs in tech feeling really confident and really positive about the experience. So one of the main aims of the MLA is obviously to upskill women and get more women into mid-level roles. But I think another huge benefit is that it does bring back people that have had to take a break for whatever reason and gives them the confidence to get back into that workforce.
Thanks, Fran. Thanks, Kay. Bella has asked, how does the MLA program support individuals who may have a limited work experience in tech but are eager to transition to the tech field? So I would say with the Mid-Level Accelerator, the focus here is to support those who already have that junior level tech experience into progressing into the mid-level role. So we're working on the assumption that the learners will already have that work experience in technology. I would say, again, the CFG degree is probably a better fit for those who have a limited work experience in technology but are eager to transition. I would say it's definitely the CFG degree which would be a better product fit there. So as I mentioned, Bella, feel free to have a look at our website. We've got loads of information about the CFG degree, but I would say that that program is much better suited to what you've asked in your question here. So how many positions does CFG have for each option? Is there only one position at Talos or OS? So no, that isn't necessarily the case. I would say don't worry too much about the number of positions. That's something that we manage at CFG, and this can also fluctuate in the sense that we don't always know how many positions that are available during the application process. So I would say I can't say right now how many positions we have for each company option, but don't let that deter you from applying in any way, shape, or form. But we can't say right now how many positions and what the numbers are exactly right now. So Brooke has asked, is there an interview for the education only option? So there will not be an interview with a company if you are going for the education only option. You would follow the same application process. However, after the interview coaching, you wouldn't necessarily have a company interview, but it would be, the offer would be based on your written application, your video interview, and your tech assessment as well. Of course, if you went down the education only route and during the program you were offered a role with our company sponsor, then you may have an interview at that point, and we would give you the interview coaching and prep you for that, but you wouldn't have to do a live interview prior to doing the course if you are going down the education only option. So if someone has completed a CFG MOOC for Python, does it give enough knowledge for tech assessment for Python MLA? I would say no for the MLA, just because we are looking at that slightly more advanced and experienced level. The MOOC wouldn't give you that necessarily because it's very much a taster, just a flavor of a language, or Python in this case. So it wouldn't necessarily give you the knowledge that you need to pass the Python MLA assessment. It would definitely give you a good insight, but I would say you would still need to have some additional experience in Python programming, having been perhaps doing that in a technical role for about a year and a half. Okay, I think that was the last question that we've had to come through on the live chat, so perhaps we can wrap up the session there. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening and for being so engaged, asking so many questions. As I mentioned, the recording will be available on YouTube for you to rewatch and reflect in your own time. You just need to go to the same YouTube link, and you can rewatch this whenever you want to. If you do have any other questions, please email mla@codefirstgirls.com. But as I mentioned, I really strongly encourage you to apply as soon as possible, and wish you the very best of luck if you do choose to apply. I can see have we had another question come through that we can take very, very quickly. Someone has experience in tech and is not looking for leadership roles, ATM, but only advanced technical individual contributor roles. Is the MLA still suitable for them? We have other courses. Let me read this one again, unless, Fran, you've got an answer to mind.
Yeah, I think the answer is yes. Yeah, so although the MLA, it builds on a lot of skills like leadership, mentoring, working in groups, etc. It doesn't necessarily mean that your career choices have to end up in leadership or management roles. I think it's definitely still very suitable for anyone that wants to stay as an individual contributor in tech, because it does develop all of those tech skills as well. So yeah, I think the answer to your question would be yes.
Okay, let's end on that very positive note. Thank you so much again, everyone. Have a really lovely rest of your evening. And we hope to see your application come through to us at CFG for our spring MLA cohort very, very soon. Thanks all. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.
Bye.